Hey guys, so this video is especially for Australians. So any USA people, you probably can just leave now. All right, cool. So now that I've just got the Australians listening, let's get started. Today's topic is all about dairy and the dairy alternatives that are macro friendly. Now, what I noticed when I moved from Australia to USA was the freedom of food, specifically dairy. And that doesn't just stop at milk and yogurt. It extends to ice cream, whipped cream, all the good stuff. Honestly, it was so nice to be able to have access to all of these things, particularly when I was doing my prep. Now, in my most recent visit to Australia, while I was over there, I actually popped back into some of the stores that I used to shop at, and they were Woolworths and Coles. I went into these two stores and I kind of went through and had a look at the dairy options just to see if they'd made any improvements. And I can say, yes, they have made some really great improvements on the macro profiles. So today I'm going to go through my best recommendations for dairy foods. These are the lowest calorie options that I can find. Often these are much higher in protein than a comparable product. And I really hope that you're able to incorporate these into your food groups, make them part of your regular grocery shop. And if you are someone that's either starting a diet or you're competing, you do not need to eliminate dairy. God damn it. So many people try and say, it's an amazing protein source, as you're about to find when you check out the list in the description below, which I'm gonna share with you. So, ricotta cheese. This is something that I use a lot as a bit of an alternative when I was making cheesecakes living in Australia. Cream cheese, which is traditionally used for baking a lot of dairy desserts, specifically cheesecake, the fat content was super high. However, I have come to find that there are some better alternatives now than when I was living there. But ricotta cheese makes for a great substitute for dessert baking. I would use a combination of this light ricotta cheese and real cream cheese to kind of drastically bring the calories down. So the brand that I actually am going to recommend is Woolies. They have a light ricotta cheese, and let me just check the macros. 2.2 protein, so it's not a high protein food, but the fat content is very low. So it's only 1.5 grams of fat and under a gram of carbohydrate. So 25 calories for a 25 gram serving. Something else that ricotta cheese is really good for is mixing it into PB powder. So if you're looking for a nice high protein snack, we know that this particular product isn't that high in protein, so you can make it high protein by adding in your favorite protein powder, whether it's a concentrate or an isolate. I'm a big fan of some of the protein cookie butters or cookie powders that just have awesome flavor, and it's really convenient and super easy, just on the go food. That's something else that you might like to try using the ricotta cheese. Let's move on to sliced cheese. When I lived here, these did not exist. So if I can recall correctly, the lowest fat sliced cheese that I could find was about 6 grams of fat for a slice. So I did some research and I have found two brands. The first is Kraft. They have a light cheese. It is 3.4 grams of protein, 2.8 grams of fat, under a gram of carbohydrate, and 38 calories for a slice. The other brand is Jarlsberg, and this did not exist when I was there either. So 4.6 grams of protein, so a little better in protein. Similar amount of fat, 2.4, and 40 calories for a slice. So they are my top two recommendations for sliced cheese. All right, so the next one is shredded cheese or grated cheese. This didn't exist either. 50% less fat, bigger grated cheese. 3.8 grams of fat for a serving, which is 25 grams, and it's pretty high in protein. It's actually 8.6 grams of protein for a serving, so 68 calories. That's definitely my number one. I've sent this entire list to my mother. She's gonna be pretty happy. Moving on to cream cheese. So this is what I would be using in a lot of my macro-friendly desserts, which are in my complete conscious prep guide, as well as if it fits your macros. If you are an Australian and you are wanting some recipes, go and check out those books because you can use these products in all of those desserts. So for cream cheese or a cream cheese spread, the light cream cheese by Bega is awesome. 3.9 grams of fat, it's still low in protein, 2.6, but very low calorie, 49 calories compared to a regular full fat cream cheese, which has somewhere around 11 grams of fat in a serving. Another one is the Woolworths light cream cheese. So that also has 3.6 grams of fat, low protein, 2.5, but 46 calories for a serve. The last one, which I probably wouldn't use in baking if you're doing something sweet, but great for kids' lunchboxes, snacks, me as an adult, I can be known to take little cheese wedges to work. So the Laughing Cow light cheese. So they're a 21 gram serve, 1.6 grams of fat, guys. So you can definitely get low fat cheeses. These are great to melt over nachos. You can put them in your toasted sandwiches. Like, it's just good. All right, so that's it for the cheese stuff. We're gonna move on to yogurts, and I'm gonna tell you what my favorites are. Traditionally, when I have a yogurt, I'm not actually looking for one that's flavored. I know that sounds weird, but that's because I love to mix in. So I'm either putting like cocoa powder to make like a chocolate mousse texture. I'm putting like sprinkled little mini chocolate pieces. I'm putting white chocolate pieces in there. I don't actually opt for like a fruit-based yogurt very often. I will only do that if I can't find a low-fat Greek yogurt. All the products that I'm about to list to you are fat-free Greek yogurts, and they do really nicely again with adding your favorite protein flavors, PB powders, and whatever mix-in you like. The best one for protein is Chobani. However, I'm gonna say, guys, you need to get on it. It's really sloppy. It just doesn't hold together. So that's like my only criticism of Chobani. There are some really good brands here in USA that are like thick and creamy. But it does have 19 grams of protein. In fact, for a 200 gram serve, let's be real, I think the 100 gram servings that some of these companies say is a serve is a little I guess unappealing. I have rounded this up to 200 specifically because it's a more appropriate serving size, and it has about 8.4 grams of carbohydrate, which is awesome. So 110 calories for the Chobani yogurt, closely followed by Woolworths. Surprise, surprise. So basically you're paying like the cheaper option here. It's not the specialty brand. That particular product has 12.2 grams of protein, 0 grams of fat, and 15.6 grams of carbs. So it's a little higher in the carbohydrate side, but again, I'm being really picky. I'm thinking for me, if I'm doing a contest prep, like when I get down to the far end, I don't want to be wasting like 40 grams of carbs on a yogurt. So I'm being pretty particular with low macro products. The last one, which I do know I love, is Jalna. So Jalna is like a pot set, like a thick fat-free yogurt. It is 10.6 grams of protein, so it's a little lower, but it has 14.8 grams of carbs. So again, that's a really good option if you prefer something that like sets like a jelly. So that is another really good one. All right, so moving on to ice creams. So this hasn't really changed a whole deal since I was here, but they do okay. I think one of the biggest differences when I moved to the USA was the number of a low calorie or a high protein ice cream options. Some of them try and trick you into making them sound like they're amazing, but really all they've done is taken regular ice cream, like the reduced fat kind, and they've just added some protein to it. So the calories end up still being quite high. So I've kind of opted for the lowest calorie ice creams. First on the list is the Peter's Light and Creamy Classic Vanilla Ice Cream slices. So these are great if you need portion control. I probably need portion control, so I would try these if I was at home. I actually haven't had this particular, like the brick, but I've tried their other ice creams and they're really good. So it's low protein, it's 1.7 grams of protein, but we're not eating ice cream for its protein content, let's be real. 1.3 grams of fat and 13.4 grams of carbs. So 72 calories for a serving, but let's just check out this really sad serving size. 46 grams. Australia, come on guys, get it together. Who eats 46 grams of ice cream? Times that by 4, please. It does make it pretty good if we compare that to like the USA serving sizes, and recently the FDA have actually increased the serving size of yogurt and ice cream to a more relevant portion size. Australia are still a little bit behind with their ice creams, but 26 grams of carbs for a 90 gram or close to 100 gram serving is actually pretty good. So that's if you have 2 serves. So the next one is also by Peter's. This is their no added sugar creamy vanilla ice cream. Pretty low protein, so 2.8 grams of protein, 1.4 grams of fat, so really low, and 4.3 grams of carbohydrate. So on the label, it's listed as 41 calories, but again, it's only a 50 gram serve. What they don't list on the label, which bothers me a little bit, is the sugar alcohols. So I'm pretty sure there's maltitol and sorbitol and some of the other sweeteners. That's okay, but they still do have some energy, and often food labeling laws permit the food manufacturer to subtract the calories from like added dietary fiber and these added sugar alcohols. So there probably is a little bit more energy in them than the label reports, but it's still so much better than a regular ice cream, like a full fat or a full sugar ice cream. So if your stomach doesn't mind a little bit of the sugar alcohols and you don't get bloated or any symptoms from that, then this is an absolute winner. Fro Pro. Fro Pro, that's it. Pretty sure it's Fro Pro. Salted caramel ice cream. Damn it, what the heck? I had this when I was back at home. It was awesome. Salted caramel is definitely my favorite flavor, and I'm pretty sure I bought out the store each time I was in a new location when we were in Australia. So between Lane and I reckon we must have had like 10 of these. But we add mix-ins and stuff. So if you just ate it on its own, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's pretty decent. I like it. It has 7 grams of protein, 2 grams of fat, and 6 grams of carbs, so 74 calories for a serve. So for a caramel or a non-vanilla flavor, it's definitely up there, but my favorite, I still haven't said yet. So moving on. Okay, for cheap as chips, like dirt cheap, home brand style, we're looking at the Essential brand, which is literally just Woolies like home brand, reduced fat ice cream. That has it's a 47 gram serving, so small serving size, but it's really, really low carb. It's like 14 grams of carbohydrate, 2 grams of fat, and no protein. So you've just got to have to add some protein to that meal or not. So that's another really good one if you're looking for like a $4 whole tub of ice cream. And to wrap it up for my ice creams, and this is definitely my favorite, Woolies reduced fat hokey pokey ice cream. I didn't think that I was going to see anything that wasn't plain vanilla on this list, but it's really good. 85 calories for a serve, 15 grams of carbohydrate, so a little higher, and 2.1 grams of fat, 1 gram of protein. So it's not going to be high in protein, but very low calories compared to all the other ice creams. So definitely put this on your next grocery list. And if you don't like it, you could write me a really nasty letter and tell me how wrong I was, but I think you'll probably like it. All right, the last 2 products are part of the milk alternative group. I'm not going to mention basic, fat-free cow's milk. I think everybody's aware that these exist, and if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. Unsweetened vanilla almond milk. This particular product is by Blue Diamond. So the macros are really good. It's probably the lowest on the market out of all of the unsweetened almond, cashew, soy family. There's about 1 billion. I think I've seen rice milk. Didn't know rice could produce milk, but it does. So that's definitely the lowest out of all of the milk alternatives. 3 grams of fat, 1.8 grams of carbs, and 39 calories, as I mentioned. Now these are not high protein. So the idea behind this would be if you're going to be making like a smoothie or something, you're getting a very low calorie kind of creamy flavor to accompany your protein powder of choice. So that's kind of how I do it. And then because I have an extra sweet tooth, I'm also adding in like a little bit of extra sucralose. If I want a chocolate shake, I'll add in some cocoa powder or whatever it might be. So the other brand that has a 40 calorie per serving, which is 250 mils, is so good. They have a long life unsweetened almond and coconut milk flavor, and that's basically the same macros. So 3.7 grams of fat, under a gram of carbs, and 1.3 grams of protein. So again, very low calorie, way better than just having water in a shake. I can't stand having water with my shakes. I've never done it. I don't know why. I think it's just I have really, I need a lot of flavor. It's probably how I grew up. So yeah, it's just a better alternative than just having plain water, and you mix it in with whatever flavored protein you have. So that is my list of dairy alternatives and dairy products for Australians. You are welcome. Go and check out the list that I've provided for you guys in the description below. These are all the products that I would use if I was going to be dieting for a show. They are the lowest to my knowledge. If you find a low one, please email me or maybe comment below if there are people that are kind of checking the comments section. And that's it. I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've got any other recommendations for new videos, please let me know, and thanks. Have a great day.